Hey, what's up, BETJ? My name is Courtney Washington, fashion designer. You may have seen my latest work on the Rip the Runway 2006. I'm here today to talk to Epperson, one of the greatest underground trade designers in the business of fashion. You'll find it very interesting what we have to talk about today, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Epperson, fashion designer. You may have seen my work on Erykah Badu, Ciara's latest work that you've seen her in everything, all the crazy pants that she's wearing, and the City Gym Boys. But today I'm here to talk with this incredible fashion designer, Courtney Washington. We're going to talk about fashion, the ins and outs of fashion in our lives. So stay tuned.
What do you think is different as far as the actual, the business of fashion?
Well, back like when I started, there weren't that many designers that are designing now. People that are considered designers now, successful at being called a designer. You know, before it was like we had Willie Smith, Scott Barry, Stephen Burroughs. Who else? Even at that time, we could say not Calvin Klein, Perry Ellis. Isaiah, Patrick Kelly. All of those designers. We looked up. We aspired to be. But most of them are gone now, and they haven't been replaced with any of us.
Right.
But now it's a whole group. It's a whole movement of money, music money, that's creating fashion.
Right.
And they're dictating fashion.
Well, that's temporary. I consider that to be very temporary. It's just as far as the music industry dictating fashion, that's definitely won't be like that side of fashion is only temporary. But the movement, like the actual fashion movement, like the soul, the soul of fashion and actual designers. Do you think like creative? From a creative standpoint, is it like the same as it was?
No, because they don't exist really in the public. So, and you're saying it's temporary. Temporary, I mean, are we talking about how temporary is it? Because
I think it's very temporary. Because as far as like fashion and being creative, as a designer also, I am, and what's happening now with the money that's going into that side of the business, you find that that image is only going to last for so long. So when you're looking at actual creativity and what it takes to really design and have a look that lasts, although like designers like myself do not have the millions of dollars behind the name, still I'm still considered XXX. But at the same time, this label is a label that's been withstanding the test of time.
Right.
And it will always do so.
Because there's a soul behind it.
Right.
You're a designer. You're not trying to be a singer that's trying to be a designer.
Well, that's true too.
And that's where our kids, the kids are watching, they don't even know who we are. Now they know, thank God. But they really don't, it's like they're programmed to get what's being fed. It's MTV, well, I don't want to name shows. But all of the shows, all of the music shows, it's like, they only play 5 videos. So if your clothing aren't in those videos, then you're not going to see the kids wearing them.
Right.
And that's where so much of the money is being spent. So when you say temporary, started 20, 15 years ago, and it's going into our future. Because now the designers that were doing the pants this big, they're catching on. Let's make them slimmer now.
Well,
And that's going on. There's a distance for that.
so in other words, they are paying attention to what's being created by the designers. We know that that's the nature of the fashion business. But what does it actually take to be a designer for the young? So because I pay attention to the young kids,
Right.
like I do a lot of lectures, throughout the South, and we pay attention to the young minds and the aspiring designers. What do you think it takes, like, to really to be a designer? They're in school,
Right.
they want to be a designer because they think it's one of the greatest things.
Well, it's interesting. I just recently spoke at Toby Coburn and Kevin Stewart. He's like this incredible teacher there, and he basically, it's like he's nurturing these young students to become. Because a lot of them are interested, but they're not interested.
Right.
So when I went and I spoke, they're hungry for. The fashion kids are hungry for what we're doing. So it's still another world within the world.
Right.
So a lot of people are going to get what we're talking about, are going to get what you're talking about. And I totally agree with you. As far as, it's your gift, it's something that it's yours. And you're not going to do anything that you're not proud to sign your name on.
Right.
And I totally admire that about you. Like even when I had my shop in Brooklyn, I was like one of the first out there.
Your premiere.
And so it was like, then when you came, it was just like, wow. It's like, it was like class on this block, and then boom, you opened up right down the street, and it's like boom,
Right.
a whole nother level of class. And
Yeah, now it's a complete different soul of Brooklyn going on in the fashion business. And although Brooklyn is just a small part of the world, it's a great maker, for fashion.
Yeah.